this? Are we recording? Yes. Okay, this guy's here. Is this okay with everybody? Where this is? So tonight we're going into just introductory breathing and just a little bit of the anatomy of breath. And then we're going to use the mechanics of breath to explore the potential to relax the nervous system. And then we're going to explore sitting. So I don't know, have you discussed the 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga? Yeah. You have. Yeah, you've discussed them. So you might have heard terms like Pratyahara, Pranayama, Dhyana, Dharana. So these are all, like Pranayama is control of the life force through the mechanics of the breath. And Pratyahara is a sensation that can start to experience, not to dramatize it, but it can start to experience, you can start to experience it when you're sitting, where the senses literally withdraw. If you've ever had a drink at a bar, has anybody ever had a drink at a bar? Then you know that feeling when you suddenly your shoulders just relax. You're like, oh, and in unfortunate cases, I can't feel my arms anymore, you know? Those kinds of things. And hey, everybody's been a teenager once, and I know what part of the world we're in, so maybe not everybody, but that's what I'm talking about. You actually feel that naturally, and that's what we're going for as adults. Like, we don't need to mess around with all that stuff anymore. We can achieve this stuff naturally, and it's very relaxing. I mean it. It's better than what I was just describing because you don't have a hangover. Imagine that. But what we're going to go for tonight is a 25-minute set. That's kind of how we're going to end up. And do we have it? What's your schedule like? 8:30? 9 o'clock. Okay, good. And we've got a healthy amount of time. We'll just talk. So the first thing I want everybody to do, we'll just get into the hands-on because I know it's late. You guys have been practicing, and I don't want to feel good. That's fine. Whatever you like. I'm fine with that too because I'm still getting off into the cold. Would you please lie on your backs now? Just lie down on your backs. And then I'd like you to put your hand, your right hand, right below where the rib cage is going to wing out. There's a little soft patch right below the xiphoid process. The lights are bright.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, make them, I don't really know how to But what I want you to do is put your right hand, it's fine, it's fine for you, but we do need some light. So I want you to put your right hand on that place, right below where the first finger and the thumb are still touching the bones of the lower rib. You can feel, and there's just a soft patch there. Put your left hand below it. So if you need to just look at me for reference, you can. Do you see how my hands are? Now I want you to take 10 deep breaths. I'll talk you through 10 deep breaths. And I want you to push on the inhale. Push that right hand up. So inhale. Push and lift that right hand up. So drive the air down below the rib cage and push the top of your tummy up. And then on the exhale, let the air out. Good. On the inhale, push up into the right hand. If you feel any restriction, just keep pushing through it. And then exhale the air out. So we're trying to loosen this band. So inhale, lift the right hand against the right hand. Push, lift the air. And then exhale, release the air. Inhale, lifting that right hand with the breath, moving deep into the lungs using the diaphragm, and then exhale the air out. Inhale, lift the right hand, try to concentrate if the mind's wandering. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale. Lift the right hand. Exhale. Inhale. Lifting the right hand. I know your mind wants to wander. Focus. Exhale. Release. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, lift. And lift as high as you can. Really pushing against that. And then exhale, release. Release, release, release. Good. Now I want you to roll over onto your tummy. You can take your hands and sandwich them on top of one another and put your forehead on your hand. And I want you to locate, it doesn't matter which way you're facing, it's fine. I want you to locate the same part of your tummy that you were just the upper, right above above the navel and below the rib cage, that belt. That belt is so tense. So now on the inhale, I want you to push that belt against the floor. Inhale. And this is going to come in handy. So you just line. And then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Try to stay focused. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Pushing against the floor. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. And just stay focused on the breath, drawing the attention back to the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Pushing against the floor, pushing against the floor. Exhale. And you take your hands beside your chest and just gently, gently, gently push yourself back onto hands and knees. And then just make your way to turn around and face this direction. So now we're kind of all in a little bit of a different space. So does anybody have any objections to chanting? Anybody feverishly against it? Okay. So I just want to start our class tonight with a nice chant. It's actually described on your sheet. I'll do a call and response so that you can close your eyes and experience it. You don't have to watch the sheet or memorize anything or get nervous. It's also not a singing class, so you can chant in any tone that suits you. This is for you, just like your yoga practice is for you. But this chant is really special. It basically invites us all to work together, to set examples for one another, and just to get a higher experience from each other in the room, whatever we're learning. Okay, so you can read the words at this point or later. So if you just sit however you feel comfortable at this point, and we'll do an Om together, and then we'll do the chant. So inhale.
Sahana
So now I would like you to do something before we get perched on our little bird feet. You can either sit on your heels, like so, or you can go traditional style if you're familiar with this, and it's not very comfortable at first, so if you don't want to do this, you don't have to, whereby you cross your right ankle over your left, and you sit on your right heel. This is the traditional way to do Simhasana, which is the pose of the lion. But like I said, if this is your first time doing it, you might want to just perch yourself on your heels, like so. Okay? These are preparatory exercises for Pranayama, and we're only going to actually be doing one Pranayama technique, the rest are preparatory. And this is basically to kind of get a lot of tension out of the neck and the face. It's also supposed to be good for the skin of the face to keep it tight. If anybody in here has a complex about that. All right. So the way that this is done there, I've seen a lot of things. You can go on YouTube and look, and everybody's going, you know. But this, the way that I've learned it is you stay a little bit more composed. And your hands are just poised softly on your knees. You're sitting up straight. You inhale. And your chin comes down, your eyes go up, your tongue comes out, and your hands go like this. So it almost does look like just the lion just sitting here, but, you know? And don't worry, nobody's looking at you, unless they're like, you know, then who's got the issue?
It's best to try this home alone.
Yeah, and that's what I always say after we give it the old college try here, is like, go home and go crazy with this, you know? But we can try it 5 times here and see how, whoever gets into it the most gets a star.
Whoever gets scared first.
Star stickers or something like that. But I won't be looking at you either. I'm going to be doing it right along with you. So let's give it 5 tries and let's see how that feels, okay? So inhale. 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 One more, let it out. Inhale. Great. It wasn't so bad. Who cares? Right?
Sorry, but just got
Good. Oh, it's okay. That's okay. You know what? I know it's like you're going into, it's different territory, right? What's the name?
It's great to laugh. It's so
good. It's same effect, like really. Yeah. Lion. Let go. No, lion. Yeah. Did anybody have any other observations about that? Those are good observations. Good. But when you're home practicing, it's just like okay. Okay, so we go right into Nadi Shodhana. So I've just picked very basic preparatory exercises. So now here comes the part I was gabbing on about earlier, where we find our little perch on our sit bones. And we find a way, to elevate our bum. I recommend elevating the bum. And if you have knee issues, knee problems, I shouldn't say issues, I've had issues myself with these. But issues kind of has a negative connotation. If you have knee sensitivities, then feel free to sit in kind of a modified Virasana, where you're sitting on top of a block like this. But either way, can you experiment for me where you just feel the pelvic bowl and you just kind of tilt it forward? Do you feel that sensation? Tilting it forward, feeling those bones just go straight down. And my teacher will say it's as if you're standing on your bones. And really, when you do shift into the floor poses of any asana practice, you become your asana, the seat of your asana is these bones. Instead of the heels of your feet, it becomes these bones, right? They're kind of the focal point. So here we are, we're sitting again, and as I just said, this is the asana, this is the seat of the asana. And why it's nice for you, to your advantage, to get these bones perched, is so that you can experience you can have the best chance of experiencing experience relaxation as well as support during our seated practice. These two types of breathing exercises that I'm going to take you through tonight involve the nostrils. Alright? And the reason we involve the nostrils is because the inside lining of the nose is one of the oldest evolutionary sensory organs. I don't know if you know this, but the most genes in the human genome are associated with the sense of olfaction, with the sense of smell. It's very old. It's very old evolutionarily. Anyway, the tissue inside of the nose is very, very sensitive to the point that if you roll over onto your right side, your left nostril will eventually open, and when that left nostril is open, it activates the relaxation part of your nervous system. If you roll over onto your left side, your right nostril will open, and it activates the more active fight and flight part of the nervous system. If you don't believe you have trouble sleeping, 9 times out of 10 your right nostril is open. If you check throughout the day and just do a little check, you'll find different sides of your nostrils are always opening alternately, because it's trying to maintain, if you've taken anatomy and physiology classes, a level of homeostasis energetically through the breath coming in through the nostrils. It's fascinating. There are pressure points underneath here, underneath your armpit, that when you roll over onto them, activate the opening of the nostril. So my school in Thailand, there are little pillows you squeeze under your armpit on your right side to open the left nostril. So if we come to class in the morning to do our breathing and one of our nostrils is blocked, we take that pillow to the other side, squeeze on it for a few minutes, and then that side of the nostril pops open. So I'm explaining this because, not so you memorize it, don't feel pressure to remember everything I said, and you can, yes.
How would you know if your nostrils are open on that?
We'll do an exercise and you'll be able to tell. Yeah, because we're going to be squeezing one side or the other, and if we're squeezing one side and you're expecting yourself to inhale and you can't, usually we walk around, we don't notice, it doesn't matter because we'll get enough air or we'll open our mouth. But yeah, in these exercises, it's good to have them both open, and so a lot of the kriyas or the cleaning exercises involving a neti pot or like a sutra neti will open the nostrils as well, but I don't know, we won't get into that. So this is all to just generally give you an idea of how sensitive this area is, and what we're working on when we work with this nostril breathing is the subtle energy body. So when you're in the asana practice, you're working kind of at a gross level, your biceps and your muscles and everything else. But as your practice grows and changes and evolves, you'll start getting into a little bit more subtle territory. You just start feeling your body at more subtle levels of its activity and of your energy levels. If you're on caffeine and you decide to go on less caffeine and you just become a little bit more sensitive to like what's going on, which is what was my path as well, being caffeinated and then going down to this, wow, I can really feel everything's going on. Anyway, back to point. So here we are, and we're going to start off with Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. One of the keys to these breathing exercises is that we're exhaling twice as long as we're inhaling. And that's another activation of the relaxation part of the nervous system, right? So what we're going to be doing with this, we're going to be bending our first two fingers. So we just have our thumb and our third finger here, our ring finger on our right hand, up and at our cervix. We're going to take our thumb to the right nostril and push in. And there's a bone, I believe it's called the Bomer bone, in the nose here, right below it, on that ridge right below it. So we're not pushing on the bone, we're pushing below it. And you're not slamming your thumb in your nose, just gently closing it off, right? And then you take that third finger, release the thumb, and push the third finger into the left nostril. We're not breathing it, we're just getting a feel for it, right? Good. So I'm just going to demonstrate one cycle of this for those who learn from demonstration. Then we're going to try 2 cycles together, stop, see if anybody needs any clarification, and then we'll do 8 more all together, okay? We're gonna do a 3-6 count. So we'll do a 3 inhale, 6 exhale. I'm just gonna demonstrate the first one. So exhale, and I can actually do it because I'm talking, but exhale all the way out. Close the right, inhale left, 2, 3, close the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale right, 2, 3, close the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does it make sense what I just did? Inhale 3, exhale right, 6, inhale 3 right, exhale left 6.
So you're inhaling from one nostril and you're exhaling from the other. Okay.
Inhale is always 3, exhale
It's all 6. Well, for our purposes tonight. So I'm trying to work within a zone where I'm sure we can all achieve it. I'm on between 9 and 18 or 8 and 16. So you work it longer and longer and longer. That's kind of when you have your own daily practice. So this becomes a daily practice for some of us, and it really is. It's very, very effective at settling the nervous system. So let's try 2 rounds together, and I'll be talking you specifically through it, so I hope that it gels with most of us. But we can stop and ask questions in 2 rounds, okay? And we'll do 8 more together. So we've got our 2 first fingers curled under, our thumb and our 3rd finger at our service. Okay, we're going to exhale all the way around. Mouth stays closed, eyes closed. Plug the right nostril, inhale left. 2, 3. Plug the left nostril, exhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale right. 2, 3. Plug the right, exhale left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale left. 2, 3. Plug the left, exhale right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale right. 2, 3. Plug the right, exhale left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. How was that? Was that okay for everybody? Did anybody feel panicked on the exhale?
I felt dizzy.
Stuffiness.
You feel a little dizzy?
A little dizzy, yeah.
Stuffiness?
And a nice dizzy.
What's that?
Nice dizzy.
Nice dizzy? Okay, as long as it's nice. And this, you'll also learn in this how to kind of regulate the breath, right? You realize, oh, I'm really pushing it out there. Maybe I should just slow it a little bit down to have enough breath to continue. Okay, so let's try 8 rounds. If it gets to be too much, just stop and put both hands on your thighs and just sit. Try to sit nice and tall so that it's as if the crown of the head is just floating. Yeah.
Really, what's the purpose of using these fingers? Why not just the thumb and the...
That's a good question. I don't know what it is, but I do know that, like, energetically there's this talk about mudras and things like that. I don't know, but this is...
I also watched video yesterday and they said that you can put the middle finger on your 3rd eye. It's like stimulating.
So, that's a discussion that's come up in school for us as well. I would recommend against that, even though I used to do that until the discussion came up. And the discussion was a little bit more on the subtle energy level, but basically to answer it in basic terms and in terms that would convince me all over again, what we're trying to do here is actually get down to the low. Have you guys talked about chakras?
Yeah.
So we're trying to go down to the lower chakras because we're always up here. We're always going up here. We're on the computer, we're on our phone, we're up here. As if this is all we are, right? But when we go into these practices, why do we love yoga? Because it's our body, oh my God, our body. We have a body. Wow. You know, I'm usually sitting in my car looking with my head, thinking about my computer. Like, but so this is the same thing subtly. We're really trying to go down into more of the lower chakras and find our stability and find a sense of calm and like permanence within ourselves, right? when we're, and this is great, like when we're more advanced, I think, when we're really trying to activate that sixth chakra, right, the vision. And I think a lot of us are operating on vision, dream big, think big. I'm always saying that. Today I looked at a picture on Instagram that like dream big dreams, But when I'm sitting, I'm like, I've got to go into myself. I've got to find my center to achieve those dreams. I've got to find the now and the here to be really present and to be really powerful, right? So that's kind of what this is a little bit more about, trying to ground us, trying to root us, okay? So let's try 8 rounds of Nadi Shodhana and try to find some balance with the nervous system, and then we'll go into a more cooling breath, and then we'll try our set, and then we'll be done, okay? So we're gonna get our fingers ready, got our crown of our head just floating, and our eyes gently closed. We exhale all the air out. Plug the right nostril, inhale, 2, 3, plug the left nostril, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right nostril, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the left, right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale left, 2, 3, plug the left, exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale right, 2, 3, plug the right, exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. Just sit for a moment with your eyes closed and your hands on your knees. Does anybody have any observations, questions, concerns?
Is it supposed to make your heart beat more rapidly to do that, or is that a panic reaction?
It might be a little bit of a panic reaction, but yeah, I think it's
It shouldn't start to beat faster. It should slow down your heartbeat.
The heartbeat, I don't usually tune into it that much, but I don't notice any marked acceleration of it. think it should really accelerate. But it could be, at first you're learning, you're also becoming more efficient with the breath to exhale twice as long. So the heart might be trying to compensate for that because you're releasing more air and then you're only inhaling a certain amount of oxygen. And part of this physiologically is to increase the efficiency of the vascular system by only providing so much oxygen, taking a long time to get rid of the carbon dioxide, and then only providing a little bit of oxygen. So that actually at the blood and the vascular level you become more efficient. And I've read this in some literature about it. There's an excellent book, I don't think I put it on this sheet. It's called The Science of Breath, and it was a prerequisite for our breathwork study at school for me. So if you'd like, I can write that down for you, or anybody can contact you with me. It's a great book about this. But also, if you do look up Pranayama, that will come up that it does increase the efficiency. Okay, so yeah.
They told me that the breathing through, I mean, that when nostril, this kind of breathing or something, meant the balance between our emotional body, emotion, and our physical part, let's say, of our emotions and our physical.
That's interesting. I've never heard it put that way, but it sounds almost synonymous with the concept of the right side of the body being yang and the left side being yin, or the right side of the body being masculine and the left side being feminine, or the right brain, left brain are just mathematical. So there are a lot of different theories in both Western and Eastern philosophies.
I kept that in mind that so I should breathe equally all the time. Both nostrils, so means that I am balanced.
No, that doesn't necessarily mean that. Because actually when you're digesting food, you want your right nostril to be open. When you're sleeping, you want your left nostril to be open. And if you do find yourself waking up in the middle of the night, I encourage you to find out which nostril's at play. Because sometimes you can really turn the tide and get back to sleep a lot.
Do we not just say normal like breathe through both nostrils?
No. So you'll find, you're walking around, because when we're in Thailand, when we're doing this course, we have a 5-day sheet where we read our nostrils in the morning when we wake up, before lunch, and then in the evening before dinner. And it's different every day, like which one's more open. And one is always predominantly open. Like sometimes they're
I could feel my left thigh, like no blockage, but I could feel my right, like stuffy.
Yeah, but that's kind of good at this time of night. You usually probably go to bed at a reasonable time. You don't go to bed at midnight. You probably go to bed closer to now. So your body's like, I'm ready for bed. Your right nostril's popped open. Yeah. So that my guess is that, and that's what a lot of us have this routine. It's like when you eat regularly every day, right? Your stomach grows at 12 if you're a regular eater. If you're vata, probably you're eating all over the place. But if you're a pitta, I'm a pitta. Noon comes, my friend wants to go to lunch at 1, I have to eat an apple or something. My body's like, I'm ready, it's noon, come on, every day,
It's a pizza.
What's it?
It's a pizza.
What's a pita?
No, what you said I am
It's
No
like
pizza
What's it?
bread. It's no pizza bread.
We'll talk about that next month. I'm coming back to talk about Ayurveda next month.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in depth. Okay.
Is it true that this breathing prevents before getting a cold, or?
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that theory.
My
But
mom always said that when I was getting sick, I had to sit down and do this breathing.
very
Yeah.
interesting. I've never heard it
Yeah.
described that way.
I
but-
still got sick, so I don't know. But she was really believing that this kind of breathing.
It would settle the nervous system. You want to rest when you start to get sick so that you can combat it, and it goes out faster. If I'm pushing myself, which I did through this cold, I pushed myself a lot, it lasts, just stays with me. If I were to stay in bed and sleep for 3 days, this thing would go away. But maybe her idea is very good to calm the nervous system so that you start to, because have you ever noticed when you're sick, I just noticed this a few days ago when I was in the middle of this crazy thing. When I rest, then my heart rate goes up, then my temperature goes up. When I'm resting. When I'm not, my body says, oh my God, you've got things to do. I'm not going to fight this battle full force. So it actually allows me to get on with my activities, and it fights the battle in like slow motion spurts, right? But if you lay around for a few days, you're gonna sweat. Your body's just gonna be like, we're going in and we're gonna take care of this thing, you know. But I find the body has an intelligence system where it's just like, okay, you got stuff to do, but we're not gonna go full force. We do, you're gonna pass out. You know, you're not gonna be able to handle all of it. It's like you digest your food, you get tired, right? Your body's like, I got something to do here right now, by the way. You know, so you can do your work, but you can't be running a marathon right now. I just got stuff to do. You know how it is.
Just a question. If one of the nostrils is blocked, is it okay to pull a little bit on the other to open it? You know what I'm saying? So if my right nostril is blocked and I'm holding here, and I pull on the cheek a bit to open the nostrils so I can breathe better, is that okay? I've been told that by some teachers that that's to do if your nose is actually stuffed, congested.
Oh.
You know, does that make sense what I'm saying?
It does make sense. I'm just listening fully too, and I'm also trying to think of a response because I've never been instructed to do that, but at the same time, I don't see why.
Like it helps, but I'm not sure if that inhibits anything. You know,
I don't think it would inhibit anything, but I think ideally if there's like anything you can put on the other side, if it's congested, if you could try to maybe take one of these blocks or a rolled up blanket and put it under the other side for a couple minutes while you're doing it and just see if that helps without having to manipulate this.
okay.
I think that's kind of the go-to for when I study, but I've never heard pro or con for that, and I'd have to look it up.
Can you go over again which side, if it's open then that's for sleeping?
Yeah,
Which
sure.
side is
Sure. So if you lie on your right side, and the key is to lie, you know, you don't want to lie like this, like kind of halfway, because then this trigger point doesn't get activated. I actually would just scoot your arm underneath, you know, like when you see children's books and they're sleeping like this. Then your arm's actually going into this right trigger point, opening the opposite nostril. To sleep, you want your left nostril open.
So you should lie on your right side.
On your right. Lie on the right, left one pops up. So it's opposite, right? Opposite pressure point, opposite nostril. And left nostril for sleep. And then sometimes after lunch at my school, the teacher will say lie on your left side. And your right nostril pops open and, you know, we rub our tummies. And this encourages digestion. It's a different energy into the body. It's not the complete sleep shutdown.
What if you don't sleep like that?
Why people don't sleep?
I mean,
No,
I
she's
don't
saying
sleep like that, so...
she's saying if you sleep on your tummies or your back or
Sorry?
if you sleep on your tummy or your back, right? If you don't sleep
Or
on the
on
right
the
side
other
or the
side.
left side.
Yeah. I think the ideal is to sleep on the side, but people don't. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be.
They tell you when you're pregnant, I forgot, they also say you should sleep, maybe on the
You
right
can't
side.
sleep on your back.
But it's a special sign.
Because of
pregnancy.
On the weight.
yeah.
The one thing I've gotten away from is complete tummy sleeping. That's the one thing I've gotten away from. But which I used to do like an addiction. But I don't know why. I think people just have different comfortable places to position themselves in. Maybe people have neck issues and pillow issues and whatever. But and why isn't it instructed? I don't know. Why don't we know this information when we're young? I don't know. Because when I learned it, I'm like, well, that's kind of basic. Right? I wish I knew this. You know?
But when you say when we go to sleep, the left one should be open, right?
It's yeah.
Yeah, so that's just for the beginning, because I mean it's beginning of at night when we go to bed, yeah. Meaning that it's time to go to bed. But through the night it will change again.
I'm not sure if it does. I haven't monitored it. I mean, well, I have monitored it. Sometimes I wake up and my right nostril's open, and maybe I rolled over to the other side, or maybe I have no idea why it opened. Maybe I was having a dream and my body thought I was moving around and was like, let's get active. I have no idea. But all I'm saying is that with this knowledge is if you pop awake and you find that your right nostril's open, it might help you to roll over on your right. I'm not saying it's fail-safe because sometimes I have insomnia and I'm nervous about something and my left nostril's open and that doesn't help either.
So it should stay ideally open, the left, even if you go to the other side, even if you move, it should stay through the night normally because it's time to
I don't know. I don't know.
Sometimes they say that the body automatically does the change in every 4 hours. Is that true? 4 hours left side is open, the next 4 the right.
I think it just depends on the person, but I think that there is some kind of method to the madness. Like a method, not the madness, but a method to what we consider madness. Like what is that? The body has its own reasons for switching sides. And that kind of goes to your question again, is that I don't know why and I don't know when. All I know is that if I pop awake in the middle of the night, now that I have this knowledge, and I want to explore some techniques for getting back to sleep, and I haven't kind of gone to the computer and blue screen myself, the daylights out of myself, I'll roll over to the right side and just give it a shot. And it will calm me to open that left nostril. I mean, I can notice the difference now that doing this on a daily basis, that it's very calming. Speaking of calming, the next breath we're going to do is a cooling breath. Does anybody have any questions? Did that answer your question a little bit? I just don't know. That's the main part of my answer in terms of what's happening at night. But I do know that 9 times out of 10 when I pop awake at night, it's because this right one's like blasting open. Could have had a dream. My nervous system was like, you're running through a forest and I'm in my bed. I don't know. So.
I have another complicated question. Sorry, I don't mean to take the time of the class, but you got me thinking with this sleeping. I mean, the whole notion of sleeping is finding your comfort zone and finding a position where you can just fall asleep calmly and beautifully without any interruptions, correct? Without waking up in the middle of the night or having any nightmares or things like that, right?
I can't answer that.
You can't
because I
answer
think
that.
that a lot of people work out a lot of things in their life in their dreams. So
Sure.
I don't know. I wouldn't give a black and white response to that. I'd say for everybody it's different, but I hear where you're going, and I think the whole idea of sleep is to rest and regenerate. And it's also a big function of sleep is to clean, the body cleans itself. Have you ever woken up in the morning and the room smells? It's because your liver has gone into a complete mode of clean everything out, and your sweat is going to contain waste. Because that's why it's good not to eat late at night. Because the body doesn't want to digest at night. It's like a cleaning in an oven. It's like a cleaning cycle in an oven. Very basic, simple way to think about it is your body goes into its cleaning cycle. If you put food in the oven in the cleaning cycle, it's just not a good situation for the food or the oven. It's not going to get clean and the food's going to...
And instead of going towards restoration and making the cells rejuvenate, it's actually going into digestion. So it's not
a weird function. But now to go back to what you're saying is like, it's a cleaning cycle, it's a rejuvenation cycle,
Sure. I mean, my question is that if for example, myself, I have been sleeping all my life on my
tummy,
on my front, on my tummy, without having any difficulties, like I fall asleep and I wake up in the same position. I never had issues with my sleep. But now what you are suggesting, you are making me feel that maybe I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I have to find a better pattern, a better sleeping pattern.
You can do whatever you like.
Okay.
I think the premise of all these teachings, I don't want to make you feel like you're doing anything wrong.
Okay.
I want to introduce some new information, and sometimes that challenges us and our old systems. It doesn't have to. And you can say one day, maybe I'll try that. And you can say, no days, maybe I won't try. You know, like every day you can say, I'm not going to try that. And it's okay with me. I'm introducing some new information. And I happen to have insomnia issues, you know, so I don't have this, like, I sleep well every night, you know. And I happen to work out a lot of my life in the dream realm. And some people do, you know, but I think, you know, what suits you, but there's new information coming in, and so you can choose what I'd like to do with it. You can go on the internet, you can research, like, what are the implications of sleeping on my stomach? Why are people talking about it like this? Is there something wrong with it? Do I want to learn more about it? Or am I totally cool with what I'm doing, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with it?
I think the later.
The latter?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? That's it.
I tend to question things that, you know, make me feel uncomfortable, or
Okay.
when you're comfortable with something, why question it?
Well, you're in a program that is encouraging you and your students to push their comfort zone,
Sure.
to try things that are against the convention of the way that they've lived. And all this information coming into us now is new, right? You know, so we're learning something new. It's your choice what you'd like to do with it. I don't want to make you uncomfortable. It's your choice whether or not you want to go to the edge of that and explore it. And if you want to say, you know, that's a part of my life I'm totally comfortable with how it is, that's up to you. And that's your private business. And I'm not going to judge you for it. And, you know, that's not what this teaching is all about, to introduce you to some information and empower you with the choice. I'm more pleased if I see a student take child's pose in the middle of a class than if they do a perfect Lord of the Dance. Because look at, they've made a choice. To me, it's like, wow, they listen to their body, they obey their nervous system, they're not creating an aversion. You don't want to have an aversion to these teachings. You don't want to feel like, I mean, it would worry me if you said, well, because she says that, I'm going to do it, you know? No, you have an independent process. But this is new information, and you choose what you like, what resonates with you. And maybe 8 years from now, you're like, wait a second, I'm having trouble sleeping. Maybe I'll try to, you know, you never know when this is going to come in handy. And then you say, you know, maybe I'll try that information that I have in my library. You know, this is an immediate threat to your system. And if you can sleep well, I'm really happy for you, because that's something I've always wanted to do.
I sleep well.
So it's fine. Shall we move to the next breath? Are you ready to go? Okay, cool. So again, we're going to find this seat, and we're going to try to kind of take it in earnest. We will have a tiny bathroom break after this, but I'm going to suggest that we do take a bathroom break after this before we do the set, that you remain as calm as possible when you go to the bathroom. Because we're actually kind of going into this kind of more relaxed zone where we have a better chance of reaching a deep relaxation during a set with this breath. So this breath is called Sheetali. It's a cooling breath. It's very useful if you're in your asana practice and you're doing like an intense back bend or an intense pose and you just feel a little bit overwhelmed or shaken emotionally, or just your nervous system feels like, whoa, you know, just a little shaky. This is a good one to kind of sit yourself down and do. Who in here cannot roll their tongue? One, two, okay. And that's not, I'm not calling out on you. There's nothing wrong with you. You get close. It's genetic, it's no problem. So, but what we're looking at here is we're going to create a straw with our tongue.
Never did it before.
What? You never?
Never thought of doing it before.
You never thought? No, you just do it all the time. This is like a baby. No, I mean, yeah, nobody thinks we're doing that. But what we're trying to do is create this little straw, because if you just try right now and you pull air in, it's cool. Now, those who are unable to do the full curl of the tongue, you take, this is so tricky to describe, you take the sides of the tongue, and then you know you've got your canines here, and you try to kind of try to curl the tongue just a little so that you're curling the sides of the tongue up to the insides of the canines. And you still have the front section of the tongue open between the tip of the tongue and the first buck teeth, the 2 teeth. You've got a little space there. You want to, the objective, sometimes it helps to work back from the objective in this. The objective is to get cool air flowing over the top of the tongue, using the teeth and the tongue, and positioning the tongue so that the center of the tongue is open and the sides of the tongue are kind of sealed against the insides of the teeth, the back sides of the teeth. So can you try that for me? It's like you make your tongue wide and stick it to the sides and the insides of the teeth.
Can I kind of roll it like this?
If you roll it like that, you're not pulling air over the top of it. So I'm sticking my tongue out, and the sides of the tongue are kind of smiling up a little bit and pushed against the teeth. For the rest of the class, all you have to do is curl your tongue. Very basic. So these extensive instructions are for those who cannot curl, and it's okay. Have you, the 3 of you experienced the cool air going over the top of the tongue? You have. Whatever way you need to do that, do that. Okay? So let's try that. Okay? We're going to do 3 breaths out, or 6 breaths out and 3 breaths in. It's very, very basic. We don't need to use the hands. We don't need to use the nose in terms of plugging it. But we're going to, on the exhale, we're going to close the mouth and inhale through the nose. Okay? The one nuance of this is when you're inhaling, you're going to want to inhale because you've just exhaled 6, so you're going to be ready to inhale. But you don't want to be, even though you've got this kind of straw situation, it's not like you're sucking through a straw. It's not like you're, because then you're actually pulling too much coolness in. Just let the air come in naturally. I mean, you're drawing it in, but it's not a situation of sucking, right? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah. I'm sorry, you said to inhale through the nose?
So yes. Oh no, you're going to inhale through the mouth. So we're going to exhale all the air out. Let's try that.
Through the nose?
Yes. And then curl the tongue and inhale. 2, 3. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Stay with us. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Curl the tongue, inhale. 2, 3. Close the mouth, exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're done. Never have I seen such a response. Everybody is so sleepy now. That one's really relaxing. That's the intention. Now, I didn't mean to feed that information to you, but did everybody experience a little bit more of like a, whoa, I just went into first gear,
Yeah.
right? Now, I am realizing that the positioning of this class is a little not as fortuitous as we'd like it to be, because now we're going to sit for 25 minutes. I have a feeling a lot of us are going to let sleep. But we're going to try. Is that okay? Does anybody need to use the restroom?
We're gonna sit for 25 minutes now.
We are. Move now, or forever hold your forever hold your pee. Okay, so we'll just take a small break. Take your time. Don't need to rush. Like, erase all of the benefits of what we do today. Okay, feel free. So yeah, it's good. Maybe stand up. Because we're gonna sit for 25 minutes, really. And unless you've done this with me before, you don't really quite know what it means until you try it. It's kind of like a marathon, but in the opposite way. I mean, if there's any kind of, like, so here I was sitting, and I'm used to a little bit of a thicker mat. My bones are pushing into the floor. By 25 minutes, it's just going to be excruciating. You know what I mean? So if you have any discomfort now, try to address it. So like for me, I'm just going to go like this. So that in 25 minutes, I'm pain-free. You know what I mean? So if you've got like little things that are kind of like, ooh, that's a little uncomfortable, but I'm fine. In 25 minutes, you're not going to be fine. You're not even going to have a chance. You know, so I want my idea, and if you teach this stuff, the idea is to maximize people's comfort and also success rate. So, and it's not about failure or success, but you want to give people the best chance that they've got to do this. How are you doing back there? You're way back there.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
We usually finish at 9 o'clock, but today just going to be like a longer one.
Oh, you gotta go.
No, I mean, I can stay. I just need to send a message, but that's fine. If we're going to go to about 4
We're gonna go a little bit over. Is that okay with everybody? We kind of got into some discussions. I mean, we're gonna go for 25 minutes now. If somebody needs to leave, then could you let me know? Does anybody need to leave like right on the dot at 9?
Not me, but maybe others or.
I know that's the preference. I'm sorry.
No, I think some
We
people have
started a little
children
bit
and
late.
stuff that they have to get home, so.
Okay, I'll ask
Just
again.
double check. Is there a preferred way to
Is there
is there a preferred way to be sitting, like cross-legged or Virasana or?
What I would recommend for this is your knees are quite high. I would sit in either Virasana or I put something underneath the bum. Yeah, or I put, yeah. Yeah.
So can we learn how to make this tongue? No, it's genetic, like, in anthropology, it's like one of those tests of genealogy. Some people can roll their tongues and some people can't, and usually less people can and consistent roll their tongues.
Is it
so it's
bone?
weird that everyone
Is it
can,
bone?
or everyone can't. So you can't learn it.
It hurts. Now, does
You
it
never
hurt
did
in
that as a
terms of like
child.
something's pushing on the
Actually,
outside, or it
there's
just
always
hurts
kids who be like,
because you're
and then I always like,
it's stretching. So when you're like that, it hurts.
maybe with
Yeah,
practice.
that's hitting the floor, right? So what I was just saying too is, I always fold this twice because it's excruciating for me. Just the mat, it's too thin. So you can get like a cushion or get a blanket and put it under your foot. I think that would work. Yeah, because what I'm wondering is, are you telling me that the pain is coming like, even if you just were like this in midair, does it hurt? Or is it more something's pushing on the outside?
More a little bit, but I think more this bone.
It's the bone and the floor.
Yeah.
Put a blanket underneath here, do whatever you have to do to make it soft. Okay? Yeah. I mean, if it's the bone hitting the floor, I'm the same way. I'm real sensitive to that. That's why my mats are always thick, or I've got multiple layers, because these really hurt. They do. So I fold this over on itself. Yeah. You want to try that and see how it works? So what I was explaining, does anybody have to leave on the bell, 9 o'clock? Okay, because we're running a little bit over. I apologize for that. We kind of got into some good discussions, though, and I hope they were beneficial for everyone. If there's any little thing kind of bothering you right now, it's going to scream at you by 25 minutes. So try to find a position that's real, not only comfortable, but supported, like we talked about, where we're sitting the sit bones directly into the floor. I do realize that this is an odd time of night to be doing this, and that we can get really tired. So as is described on this sheet, first of all, the main point of this is to sit still. Okay? You got an itchy nose, try to resist. Try to let the itch pass without itching it, right? That's actually an activity of the mind. The mind's going to say, itch your nose. You say, no, I don't need to itch my nose right now. You're exercising control. You're saying, I know that my mind is telling me to do something, that I am separate from the mind. So this is an exercise in separating yourself from your mind, right? Because your mind doesn't want to sit here for 25 minutes. Your mind has a lot to do, a lot to think about. But this whole practice is incredibly empowering over time, especially if you do it on a regular basis. What you're doing is you're exploring space and time, and you're taking an increased level of ownership over it. Instead of letting your mind run the show, you're starting to get behind the wheel of this very powerful vehicle and say, I'm driving now. And also another metaphorical analogy would be, you have a child, and you're saying, no, we're going to sit here. And it wants to run over to no, we're going to sit here. No. So for 25 minutes, that's all you're doing. You're catching yourself thinking about things, and you're saying, no, we're going to think about the breath. No, we're going to think about the breath. Now, that might be a tall order. If that's an extremely tall order, you can think about the mantra Om over and over and over. There's another powerful mantra, Ram, associated with Manipura chakra. And it was Gandhi's mantra, famously. But you can say Ram, Ram, Ram. And because if your mind is extremely busy, you might need some kind of like sonic call, right? So again, as is encouraged on this sheet, we're discouraging movement. So that's the first thing. Try to stay in one place for 25 minutes. No shifting, no shuffling, no my hair, my nose, what's going on. There will be a lot of impulses. Try to watch those impulses come and go. Then you're going into a more subtle layer of the mind. The mind's going to produce thoughts. Did I get that phone call? Did I answer that phone call today? You're here in this room. It doesn't matter if you did or you didn't. There's nothing you can do about it. You're sitting in one place, right? But our mind really makes us think there's something urgent going on. I've got to think about this obsessively, right? The final goal, if we can't focus on a mantra, or if we can focus on the mantra successfully, is to draw your attention even deeper into the breath alone. And to do that, you can start to just, with the sensation of the breath coming in and out of the nostrils, feeling and moving in and out of the lungs. If you get to a deep state of relaxation, the breath will reduce in its size to a very, very light breath, where you're really just breathing like this. If you're falling asleep, open the eyes very slightly and look down to the cheeks. Okay, so you can, it's like when you were young and you faked that you were asleep so you didn't have to do something, everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? You're gonna fake that you're meditating in front of me. No, but you know what I mean. So this is all for you to try. I'm not gonna be a taskmaster teacher like, sit, don't move, rah! this is the idea. And again, because the timing is not necessarily ideal, you can try it again in the morning sometime and just try this. 25 minutes is a long time. Actually, let's shorten it because we are running late. I'm gonna shorten it to 18. I know that's very random, but I don't know, something about 18 makes me feel like we're doing enough.
18 and 27?
18.
19 and 27, I think it's better.
You want to go to 27?
No, 18.27.
18.27? I don't know if this has a setting. You know, if you have a timer that has that setting, I would love to explore that. Let's see. I like that sound. Okay, so that's going to be our sound when we're done. Isn't that nice? You'll never have a more joyous experience in your life than hearing that sound.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Already. That's going to be the finish line of our marathon. So is everybody ready? Okay. I'm in a very comfortable position again. The crown of the head is lifted. And we're starting off. One more bit of advice. If you tend to produce sounds in your head, if a song starts playing or if you hear something in your mind, try to tune into the subtle sounds around you in the room. If there's a sudden noise out there, use it to come into the present moment. It's not a distraction, it's actually calling you into the present moment. If something like that were to happen, that's the sound that's happening now. Use it as your doorway to get back into your breath, right? Whenever you feel the opportunity to come into the present moment, to come into the breath from the thoughts that you're thinking, come back. Don't judge yourself, right? Even if you're thinking about things for 20 minutes in the last, for 15 minutes in the last 3 minutes, you get to a point where you can focus, you've done everything you can, okay?
So normal breathing, just inhale through nose, exhale through nose.
Yeah, just inhale, exhale, relax. The breathing can be controlled, it can be released. Just let the breath happen as it is. And just observe it. Just observe it. Okay, ready? Close the eyes. And we start. questions, we can discuss them, but I don't want to hold everyone here. And if you could bear with me, we can do the final chant. Really, it's a quick one. Okay, so close your eyes. Move Om together. Repeat after me. Asatoma. Satgamaya. Tamasoma. Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma. Amritam gamaya. Thank you, everyone. Thanks. I'll see you again next month. We'll talk about Ayurveda. If you have any questions for me, I can give you a contact card, a business card, and you can Facebook me or you can message me. I'm really open. Like, talk to me, ask me any questions. Not like I'm a supreme expert in all of this, but I've been doing it a while, so, and I've been trained. Thanks for you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging in there. Everyone really hung in there tonight. I know it's a long night for you guys, especially after a long day. So thank you very much. And this is such a quiet topic for the end of the evening. So thank you. And I'm really impressed with how you all sat. By the way. No, I had a 5 o'clock class, and then I got a job, my new job's in education city. Yeah. Sorry. Cool. No offense for you. I'm a writer at it. Okay. Okay. If you ever need anything to come in and talk about anything specific, I mean, my specialty is science writing, but then I've also done a lot of PR. Sounds very cool, yeah. So being over there, it's really hard for me to get out of stuff by 5. Right, especially with the parking situation. I can't get into it underground. And so then it's like a walk, get over there, and it's just like some major paths. So then I asked for another time, and they didn't have a spot, so I didn't fight it. So now I've been starting to get my own compound every week, 2 days a week. So I would love to do that. But I think you might do something through singing. So we're looking at that too. I'm just mentioning it. So we'll keep in touch if you like. And that's really weird with. I mean, it's nice being cut here. This is really But still, you realize still falls asleep. Same
Did you?
I didn't really,
How
we
do you
ran
do
out
it
of time,
for
I
power?
wanted to explain
I
that.
don't do very well.
This is it's a really powerful practice. Your life starts.
My dad does pranayama every morning.
Your life every morning. Asana doesn't change my life. I mean, asana you get healthy,
You know,
you get strong, you get fit.
Yeah,
But this
yeah, I know the
is
same
upward.
Yeah.
It brings that
Here, when you
Yeah.
remember when
And that, when you operate
so
from
you
that
have-
place
you
in your
have
life,
hamstrings?
more and more.
No?
Like I
No,
don't
it's
always
all
operate
right
from that place, I will always go.
So the lower
But
back.
more and more I'm operating from that place, and I'm
Yes.
making better decisions,
Yes.
and my life is changing.
In fact, that's one of the questions that I want to ask. Like, sometimes I'm leaving from here and I'm in a certain state of mind. The moment I reach home, like it's 30 seconds and how the Zen starting back.
Not excruciating,
So,
but I.
This seated practice
But either
actually,
I don't
seated
force it
practice
because it
actually
hurts.
gives you more power
So I
to
just
sustain
stay
and longer
Yeah.
than the
Like
physical.
even
Sometimes the physical, if you don't do a long enough shavasana, the physical can make it worse. With you're stirring up all this stuff and then you get on the, I don't know if you've ever had that, I have. Where I get on the road
Stop
and
it,
even though that's not your practice, and
because
you
if I
stay
go forward,
shavasana long
then
enough,
it
it feels
hurts.
it.
So you start hurting.
But this is like
Here.
complete,
Then
you
it
go
starts
somewhere,
hurting.
you go somewhere where you're
Right.
creating this
Like,
space between you and your mind.
Okay.
So then what happens, when you leave, you have a space between you. When the car stops suddenly in front of you,
Yeah. It starts. If I let go, I want my reaction to
freaked
be
out,
back.
right?
Oh,
Or do I want to just wish that person well? and
Oh, you are?
because
That's
when
awesome.
you're in a car,
Oh.
nobody's going to experience the effects of your freak out except you. So your life changes, your life becomes better. Because even if I scream at that car,
You know what
it's okay for
happened?
me.
Killers of
And I know myself,
Because it's
and I
stupid
get
too, right?
stressed.
And I don't
Yeah,
have
so
any
why
different
not
options.
decide,
It's just
do I want to
very
get
much the
stressed?
same
Do I want to
answer,
hurt
like,
myself?
you did
Or do I want to just go like
But my friend
that?
told me that if it filled
Okay,
me
it's
up,
over
it
by.
probably
So,
Look
I'm
up
more
to
just.
30 or one.
I'm not breathing very light.
Then
I feel like
Breathe in. That's not
Because my
when we were doing the
my friend
exercise.
told me
No,
once
just
before.
think
Oh, yeah. That
It
can
would be
happen.
around 9.
And that's your mind taking over usually.
Okay.
You know, because your mind is like, we also remember it.
Yeah.
But actually, the real,
Probably
the real,
the
that's a
battery.
really nice state. And that is
Oh,
natural,
probably
that's a
getting
good
back.
state if you got to that.
So
Yeah, that's
probably
really good.
like
You read out about,
6'6".
you know, they talk about how the sensation of the breath joins the soul and the spirit. So there's a lot of like, that, but I mean, without going into that song and dance, I'll just say that that brings you to a very central place.
Yeah.
So I'm
So I
gonna
can
get
feel it and then my mind will be like, okay,
still available.
and then I'm going back to that state and then I'll be like, I feel the urge to do a deeper breath.
Well, I mean,
You know what, in that case,
If you
take
end
a
up getting
deeper breath. You're not moving.
Yeah, that's what I
Take a
did.
deeper breath.
I took a deeper breath and then that was
yeah,
fine.
I mean,
And then I came back.
Maybe you need that, and then just practice on this side. That's
I can use my roommate.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. Let's see how it goes. Because the more copies, so
Yeah.
if no one's touching it, then I can
Okay.
try and get it before.
That's how it takes something.
Okay.
Everyone on.
No,
I mean,
so
you
just
know,
one that
it's
equals your circle. You can't, that's just like an extra.
Okay.
I just need to play that. Yeah, you could have been paying more attention to it. You don't hear it. That's what I suggest.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, if this one gets blocked,
Do you have any other
we'll
phone
like
apps
this for a little while.
for 3G, like WhatsApp?
And take a
or
little
not?
apps and try to use this one on the Another thing we didn't talk about is the nutty pot.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay,
it's
so
like
I'll
a
just
song
give you a
that's
call
straight
then.
under your neck.
Yeah.
So they're different ways to clean the nostrils too. We're in Doha. Our nose is releasing a lot of extra mucus to keep up with the dust in the air. So there are different things you can do to clean out the nose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you if you turn on
But
the
then
data
we're
plan.
gonna be on.
Yeah, right, so
So we have
if you wanna
weeks,
know what that is.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
like
Send me an email
it's
or
not
Facebook,
the
you know,
data
whatever
it's
you want.
pretty expensive.
Alright,
Bro,
thank you.
anyway,
Oh, okay.
it's like 1 megabyte so it's like
Bye guys. See, have a good holiday, right? Yeah, because we just got back.
You too, or are you gonna travel? No, I'm not traveling.
We're all of us are gonna be here and there's no.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Is this over?
Well,